Morning, everyone. Yeah, morning. It's good to see you all in the chat. I hope you're all okay. I hope that COVID's not too stressful for you wherever you are currently residing, and we will be fine in terms of getting through the dissertation. So be safe with me. So again, hello, final year. This is your contextualizing your practice session. This is the first webinar of 2 that we'll be having in the next 2 weeks. I'll have another with you next Monday. So again, using the same link. And I think it's a similar time. Just keep an eye on that and keep that in your calendar. So we're going to begin just kind of by just thinking about this year and what it's going to really look like in terms of you getting through your dissertation, some of the deadlines that we're going to have for me in terms of feedback, just so we kind of got a clear outline of what we'll be doing in the next few weeks. Okay then, as a welcome to Collaborate Ultra, let's begin by saying that this session is being recorded, and it was recorded as of a few minutes ago. If you do want to speak via audio, you're more than welcome to. Raise your hand, and I will obviously see that prompt, and I will kind of swap everyone in and out so everyone gets the the right chance to speak and kind of say if they have any questions. You can do this as well if you've got any change in your status. If you need to leave, don't worry about that. Just mute your audio and you can mute your camera. There is, again, no obligation to be on the screen at all. And again, just be mindful of the panels at the bottom that you can use in order to kind of communicate with each other and me especially. And Sarah did just put in the chat as well. It's not a dissertation of a sense. It is an extended essay again, so a bit less pressure. But we'll be going through that. I know it's 4,500 words, so it's a decent chunk, but it's a good amount of space to do some writing. So we'll be absolutely fine. Okay then, so a little icebreaker. So me, I am a recent graduate. I graduated in 2018. I'm currently studying my PG Cert in academic practice, and I've been very lucky to be introduced to this unit, and I'll be helping you through your extended essays. A bit about me, I'm an artist, so I work in digital sculpture, and it's more research-based practice, so I think I'm well versed in order to get you through this portion of the extended essay. It would be good to know a bit about you, so if anyone wants to actually speak by audio, then feel free to put up your hand and we can do that. But I'm just thinking it'd be good for me to paint a picture of where you're working from, because I'm aware, not everyone's in the UK, so it'd be good to see kind of where we are all geographically located. And also just kind of, just say a bit about yourself and what your interests are in terms of the extended essay, just so I can make a note that when we do get through into week 3 and we start doing tutorials, I already have a good kind of maybe some resources for you that we can have a chat about that I'll make a note of. So would anyone like to speak? Feel free to put your hand up. If not, feel free to put everything in the chat and I'll read out and kind of connect the dots with you all. So feel free to do that for the next few minutes. Taiwan, oh wow. I've never been. I really do want to go. It's evening. Oh wow, yes, I'm aware. Our tutorials, yeah, if you're in a different time zone, it's going to be tricky. So please do. We'll go through kind of all the dimensions of tutorials at a bit later date, but be mindful if you are in a different time zone, what that might look like in terms of your individual slots as well. Anyone else? Anyone else want to put it in for me? I'll also add to it as an example.
Shall I introduce myself?
No, of course, Sarah, go ahead.
Raven?
Yes, of course. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can everyone hear me?
London, China, south of China, amazing. It's really good to have you guys joining me. I'm sorry if it is closer to bedtime. I have just gotten up. We can hear you, Sarah. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we can hear you.
All right. I thought I might just introduce myself, if that's all right. So yeah, I'm Sarah. I actually coordinate the whole of CYP for everyone, but I also teach CYP on FDD. And yeah, my research is in fashion and the senses, and I've been teaching CYP for many years, and it's a really, really brilliant unit, and the students really enjoy it. And you all write about amazing things, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're going to write about this year. And I live in Brighton. Bye.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I didn't share that. My practice is based around concepts of body politics, and the collectivization of bodies as well. So if anyone wants to speak around body politics, I know quite a bit about that. But even if I don't know that much, this will be a good opportunity for me to make some notes, and I can just really get myself as versed as possible. So some people have put things in the chat. A few of us are in London, Taiwan, Beijing, China, south of China, which is amazing. I hope it's not too late for you guys. I'm not sure how big the time difference is. And so I guess along with where you're located, could you also add for the chat what you're interested in terms of your extended essay, which will be really helpful for me to have prior to tutorials. It gives me a week and a bit to just kind of think of some research potentially that we could talk about. So feel free again to add that to the chat, and I'll just be making notes as and when they come in. Again, if you want to speak, please do put your hand up, and then I'll pick and choose, and you're welcome to kind of speak if it's a bit easier for you. So Carolina, representation and gender ambiguity, amazing. Carolina, just excuse me while I make a note of these, but I am going to read all of them out. Mike, fear is a factor over control of society. Really interesting, Mike. I think that's got a lot of relevance in today's, yes, Sarah, exactly. Today's context. So that's a really good thing to be looking about. Sophie, individualism and its use in extended into products, lifestyle, and sustainability. Well, that's really interesting. I quite like that topic. Sophie, individualism. Hannah, the male role through fashion and history, particularly in the West and Middle East. Interesting again. Some really good concepts, guys. I'm looking forward to the tutorials. I hope we'll have a lot to speak about. So, male roles. Santana talks about trans representation in Western society. Again, really relevant today. Santana. Again, yes. Some of you are saying you're not sure. That's completely fine. We'll fine tune that over the next few weeks. It'll just be good if you have any starting points that we can maybe just have a conversation about, and we'll just kind of try and locate something specific within the topic that you'll be interested in writing 4,500 words for. But again, this doesn't have to be set in stone right now. We have a while to kind of fine tune things as well. So don't worry about that too much, Hannah. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything before we move on? This is just an opportunity again for me to just kind of see what everyone's doing, but if not, that can come at a later time. So don't worry about that too much. Yes, so Sarah did say yes. We're going to be discussing in next week's webinar some ideas that really will help you to fine tune your essay. So yeah, don't worry, just keep having a think for me, and even if you come to the session with a mind map, we can work through those, maybe even as a group, because everyone has their own expertise. So it'd be really valuable. Your tutor group members might have something that they could offer you. Maybe something revolving around fashion involvement in politics, thinking about hypercapitalism. Very interesting. I was actually reading about that this morning, so that should be really fun. There's a lot of I think new kind of social research coming out about that particularly. Anyone else before we move on? I'm going to give us till 10:02, so you've got 2 more minutes. If you just want to put any kind of your immediate thoughts, if you're not sure, or maybe that you just have absolutely no clue, and that's still fine, we can work through that together. Thanks for that, Sarah. So yeah, there's a new book, Fashion and Politics, which is out, which will be very useful for Toby, your Yeah, which should be good for your research. And the CYP teachers have contributed, so it's amazing. I mean, yes, please know that all these tutors on this course are amazing and they have a really wide skill set. So do take advantage of that. We will kind of go through the Moodle, so hopefully I'll be able to signpost that all for everyone. But again, not to worry too much if again it's just you're at the ideas process, because that's a good thing as well. It's good not to be too set in stone. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly. We are all researchers, so yeah, don't worry, you're in very, very capable hands. And making research fun as well, because that's the thing. Don't think of it as this kind of really laborious essay that you're going to have to write. This is a chance for you all to kind of really have a very specific mode of conversation about something you're really interested in. So really don't worry about things like word count. It's really about kind of how you articulate it. And I'm sure you're all very, very good at doing that. So don't worry too much. Okay, 11:50, we're going to move on, but feel free to write anything in the chat if anything comes to mind as we go through this presentation. Again, so this is week 1, this is our unit briefing. I'm going to go through the presentation. I'm going to switch to another one which looks at library services and just signposting some of the resources that we have at UAL in terms of finding research, because we have quite a wide library catalogue, as some of you may well know. And we'll be doing that today, and as well as answering any questions. So I think Sarah will be doing that on my part in the chat, but again, if any of you want to raise a hand and speak, that is completely fine. And moving into next week, we again have another hour webinar in the morning. So this is where we're going to be finalising your essay proposal. So again, just kind of more topic generation and just kind of bouncing back any questions you may have about the essay portion of this unit. We're going to go through some of the resources on Moodle. So particularly, we're going to go through in a bit more detail the CYP unit handbook, which is kind of everything you need kind of particularly for the next coming weeks. We're going to kind of touch on tutorials, which are happening in week 3, but don't worry too much about that. I'll be prompting everyone probably the Sunday before tutorials to where they need to be and time, so you don't need to worry about that too much. As well as, just kind of making yourself known to each other, and just offering peer-to-peer support, because again, we all have our own skill sets and our own knowledge. So, whilst we're as tutors are here to help you, there may be a student that may be really interested in your topic and maybe can send some book titles your way or some research. So just, be mindful to help one another as well. So in week 2, again, thinking about finalising your essay proposal. So next week we'll have another webinar, as I just said. You'll bring your proposals along, and then the next slide there's an example of the format actually that should be in, which is just really digestible for me and Sarah to just kind of go through and kind of really understand what you're thinking about doing them. So we're going to go through that, and if you could maybe make efforts to kind of work through that, do your best, especially if you're not really confident on your idea yet, or you haven't really got a set in stone topic, and we will work through those next week. And again, you can raise your hand if you have any immediate questions right now about your proposal. And I can actually see that Sarah's hand is up if she wants to speak. Sarah, if you have anything to say.
Sorry, I forgot to put it down from before.
No, don't worry, that's absolutely fine. But again, just following Sarah's example again, if you put your hand up, I will stop when I'm speaking, and we can just ask back any questions that you may have. So then moving on, as you can see in the screen in front of you, this is the example of your essay plan. So again, you just need to fill this in prior to next week, or do the best that you can in order to fill this through going into next week. And you need to bring this to your first tutorial with your supervisor. And of course, it's just got kind of the bare bones of what you're really thinking about. Nothing has to be super developed. If you've got a really good idea and you're really passionate, just put as much as you can in, and that will be really helpful in terms of going through. But again, just anything that you want to add in, you can do that, and we will negotiate that next week. So again, it's got the title. If you've got a particular question you want to ask as well, a particular area, please do add that in as well. So you can briefly explain your topic and maybe the wider context as well. Images, yes, thank you, Sarah. Very good. Particularly, I'm a very visual learner, so actually that would be really helpful on my part if you want to come with maybe a mood board or something that you're thinking about. Why you're interested in the topic, again, you need to center yourself within this essay. So again, just be mindful that, bring a bit of you into it as well. You don't have to worry about it, being really highly technical. We really want to see how you speak and what you're passionate about. And particularly, again, how it relates to your practice of design work. Don't make it super abstract, and don't remove it so far from your practice that it becomes really difficult. Kind of really center yourself and your interest in your practice, and that's really, in my experience, the best way to do write a really good essay. Again, we need a mix of primary or secondary